Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. So today I am going to be talking to you about my experience with coming off the mini pill. I've mentioned this on Twitter and also in my weekly vlogs, and a lot of you guys have asked to hear my experience with not only coming off the medication but also what it was like on the medication as well. So I'm quickly, just really like casually, I want this video to be really chilled, going to talk you through my experience of, that. So I was on the mini pill, the brand name was Cerazette. I was on that for 13 years, a really long time. So pretty much my entire adult life I was on this form of birth control, which I didn't realise but affected my life in an awful lot of ways over that kind of time. I went on it when I was about, I must have been like 16 or 17, I can't quite remember, but I remember going and getting that and it being an option for me because I have a history of migraines in my family. I get migraines a lot, so does my mum, and I also have a history of stroke in the family, and so the mini pill was given to me as the best suitable option because the other ones can like cause those things. I'm not really too sure on the facts about it, and I was on it up until last June, mid last June, so nearly like 13 years, which is an awful long time. I decided to come off it. One, because I wasn't having any sex and I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this, like I don't need to be on it because I'm not having sex, there's no chance of me getting pregnant. And reason number two was because it was actually what was causing my acne the whole time, apparently. If you're not familiar with my acne journey, I will leave my videos down below, but basically I had acne for 10 years and it pretty much started around the same time that I started taking the mini pill. I remember every time I went to my doctors to repeat my mini pill prescription, I'd say, could that be the cause of my acne? And they were always like, no, until I went to a dermatologist about Roaccutane. It wasn't until then that he was like, your birth control has been causing your acne the entire time. This is a bit of a tricky subject. I know it's really different for everyone, and I know that a lot of girls, when they go on the pill, it really clears their skin up, but for me it had the complete opposite effect. So this is just my story and my experience on it. So back in June I started breaking out a little bit around my chin area. Even though my acne was under control at that point, I was still like, you know what, I'm just going to come off it. So me and my sister's also been on it for a really long time. We both decided at the same time we were going to take our last pill, and that was that. I tweeted about this. I'll leave the tweet that I posted here, and I had so many replies from you guys, and I also did an update. It's been a month since I stopped taking my mini pill and my skin is perfect. All of my blemishes are gone and my skin is smooth. Over the moon. We'll make a forward video about this soon. Hashtag acne. So this is that video now, basically. I didn't think that I had many side effects whilst I was on the mini pill, because I didn't know otherwise. I hope that makes sense. So it wasn't until I actually stopped taking it when I realised how much it had been affecting my life, and that's what I want to talk to you a little bit about now. So I guess the first thing I really noticed coming off the pill was how much it had suppressed my sex drive over the past 13 years. I've never had a high sex drive and I just thought that was normal. I thought that was me, but it wasn't until I stopped taking that I am like, not to be crude or rude, but I've been horny a lot, and I was like, oh, this is much more enjoyable, and this is what I actually should feel like. So now I enjoy sex a lot more, I want it a lot more, and I never ever felt like that before. So that's one way in which being on the mini pill affected me. The second is my mood. I didn't realise this, but I am pretty sure being on cerazette caused me a lot of not mood swings, but I actually think quite a bit of depression. I have been on antidepressants before whilst I was on the mini pill, and I always just thought that I was prone to feeling quite down and sad and depressed, and I thought that was, again, just me. But no, ever since coming off the pill, my mood has been a lot more joyful, except around that time of the month when I'm actually experiencing PMS in all its glory. Ugh. Yeah, I felt a lot more positive about things, and I feel like I can manage and handle things a lot more. I definitely feel a lot less anxious as well. So that's another way in which I didn't realise, but it was affecting me. My skin since coming off has been good. Now I should say that around that time of the month, my skin does break out a lot. around this area, which I think is the hormonal area. But because I know it's hormonal and it's not acne and it's not all over my face, and that it will fade after a couple of days or weeks, then it's so much more manageable to deal with. So that's another thing. And I guess the fourth way in which it's affected me coming off it is having a period again. Now, being on cerazette, I never had periods. For pretty much 13 years, I probably had like 2 periods a year. Those periods did last a lot longer than normal ones. I remember having a period which lasted like 3 weeks once, and they were really heavy when I did have them. But yeah, for 13 years I never had PMS and I never had periods, which was amazing. So I've really been experiencing what it's actually like to be a woman since coming off. I've experienced the real anger and frustration in the days running up to having a period, and then the joyfulness afterwards. I am like riding the wave of my cycle, and it feels great to be in control of it. In terms of coming off it, my periods went back to normal really quickly. Sorry if this is TMI. I'm just talking about this really honestly. I've always been really honest about everything I talk about on my channel, whether it be acne or dating and stuff like that, or even when I had a colonoscopy where they stick a camera up your bum. I vlogged all of that as well, and I know that those videos have helped so many people, so this is kind of why I'm making this video. So I came on my period 5 days after stopping taking the pill, so my cycle went back into like motion really quickly, and ever since then my periods have been a bit weird, but they're definitely like happening. I've been tracking them all on the Clue app. This is not sponsored, so I've never been able to do this before, so I'm just like, love it. Nice little gadget. My cycles aren't normal since coming off, but I have heard that it takes like 6 months to a year for it to actually get back into like a normal flow. My cycle has been like from 20 days to 24 days. I think the average is like 28, so I'm quite a lot under that. It means that I have quite a few more periods than my friends, but I'm like aware that that's going to be a thing for a while whilst my body kind of, and my hormones I guess kind of settle down. I also wrote a couple of notes in the days like the first week after coming off the pill, just to track if I felt any differently, because I know that some people can get like phantom pregnancy symptoms in the days after stopping taking the pill, and they can feel really nauseous. They can actually feel like their body's a little bit pregnant. I've written day 1 and 2 was absolutely fine, didn't feel anything different. Day 3 I had stabbing pains in ovaries, I've written, and started bleeding. Oh, so I came on my period 3 days after. Day 4 and 5 on period, occasional strong pains but manageable, feeling happy but also overly emotional. I guess that's another thing. I have been feeling very sensitive in the days leading up to my period. I think like any girl does around that time of the month. So yeah, that's just a brief quick overview of how it's affected my life over the past 13 years and how it has been since stopping. I have got a question for you guys now. What birth control are you on? Because I went to a sexual health clinic a couple of days ago to talk about different options for contraception, because I've started having regular sex again. Hooray! But I am a little bit fed up with using condoms, to be honest, but I'm also petrified of getting pregnant, not ready for that at all yet. And I left that appointment feeling really frustrated at the lack of options available for me, because I don't want to take hormones. I don't want to be putting more hormones into my body, especially because I know that that can cause acne, and I'm petrified of getting bad skin again. Like, I just don't think I would want to risk it. The only option that was non-hormones was the coil, but again I'm really scared of having that because one of my best friends had it and it was horrendous for her. So yeah, I would like to know your experiences on birth control. I was introduced to the injection, which I think is really interesting. I hadn't heard of that before. I know that a lot of people have got on really well with the implant, but basically I want to know what birth control you're on and if it has caused acne in you. I think that will help me kind of weigh up my options and decide a lot easier. I hope this has helped some of you who are also going through the same thing and are thinking of coming off the pill or thinking of going on cerazette. All in all, like I didn't have one pregnancy scare, so it definitely did the job of not getting me pregnant, which is always a good thing. I guess if you don't have those major side effects, I think the acne one was definitely the one that interfered with my life the most. Can you also leave me a comment down below, let me know if there are any other types of videos you would like to see, because I've like got a bit of a brain freeze about it and I don't know what to film. So yeah, that'd be really helpful. Okay then, I love you lots. Bye. Mwah.